Hey, what's up guys? Sloth King here. What if I told you the spark plug in your engine fires before the piston even reaches the top of the cylinder? That sounds wrong, but it's actually the only way an engine can make power. Ignition timing is one of the most important factors in how a gasoline engine runs. It affects power, fuel economy, engine temperature, and even engine damage if it's wrong. In this video, we're going to break down what ignition timing actually is, why the spark happens before top dead center, how timing changes with RPM and engine load, and the difference between old distributor systems and modern computer-controlled engines. By the end, you'll understand exactly how engines decide when to fire the spark plug. All right, let's get into this. All right, before we get too deep into this, first we need to talk about the 4-stroke engine cycle. So every gasoline engine goes through 4 strokes. Well, not every gasoline engine, but we're just talking about like cars. So the first stroke will be your intake, the second one will be compression, the third one will be power, and the fourth one will be exhaust. The spark plug fires near the end of the compression stroke, just before the piston reaches the top of the cylinder. The top of the piston's travel is called top dead center, or TDC. Ignition timing refers to the exact point in crankshaft rotation when the spark plug fires relative to piston position. This timing is measured in degrees of crankshaft rotation. So, for example, 10 degrees BTDC means the spark fires 10 degrees before top dead center. Most engines at idle fire somewhere around 8 to 14 degrees before top dead center. But here's the important question. Why does the spark fire before the piston reaches the top? If you know, leave a comment below right now. All right, so when the spark plug ignites the air-fuel mixture, the mixture doesn't explode instantly. Instead, it burns progressively as a flame spreads across the combustion chamber. Even though this process only takes literally milliseconds, it still takes time. Meanwhile, the piston is moving extremely fast. So if the spark fired exactly at top dead center, the mixture wouldn't finish burning until the piston was already starting to move downwards. And that would just waste energy. So instead, engineers ignite the mixture slightly early so the combustion pressure peaks just after the piston starts moving down for the power stroke. That timing produces the maximum pushing force on the piston, which is what creates engine torque. So in simple terms, if the spark is too late, you get wasted power. If you spark too early, the engine will knock or it will get damaged. So ignition timing is all about igniting the mixture at exactly the right moment. So here's where things get interesting. As engine speed increases, the piston moves much faster, of course, but combustion speed doesn't increase very much. That means the spark has to happen earlier and earlier as the RPMs rise. So for example, if you're at idle, you're probably around 10 degrees before top dead center. And at higher RPM, you're probably around 30 to 40 degrees before top dead center. This process is called ignition advance. Advancing timing simply means the spark occurs earlier in the rotation of the crankshaft. If the timing didn't advance with RPM, combustion would happen too late and the engine would lose power. So RPM isn't the only factor. Engine load also affects ignition timing. So for example, if you're cruising down the highway, you have a light load. And now if you're accelerating hard, that is a heavy load. At light loads, the air-fuel mixture is usually leaner and burns slower, so engines often run more ignition advance. Older engines handled this with something called vacuum advance. When engine vacuum is high, like during cruising, a diaphragm moves and advances the spark timing. Under heavy throttle, vacuum drops and timing is reduced to prevent knock. So ignition timing constantly changes based on RPM, load, air-fuel mixture, and engine conditions. So before modern engine computers, ignition timing was controlled mechanically using a distributor. Inside the distributor were 2 main systems: mechanical advance, which is small weights moved outward as RPMs increased. This rotated the timing mechanism and caused the spark to happen earlier. And then you had vacuum advance. A vacuum diaphragm adjusted timing depending on engine load. Together, these created a timing curve that changed spark timing as the engine ran. So with this, you could adjust base timing by slightly rotating the distributor housing while the engine was running. So as you're moving this distributor, you'd use a tool called a timing light, and that would flash with the spark and let you see the timing marks on the crankshaft pulley. All right, so for example, this is the crank on my Supra, and you can see some markings right there on the timing cover. You'll see 0, you'll see 5, 10, and 15. And this is all your timing marks. And if we look down here, see this little cutout on the crank right here? That is what you would use to line up for these numbers right here to set your timing. So if you wanted to set it 10 degrees before top dead center, you need to line up this mark with that 10 by using a timing light. So I'm going to show you a clip on the first time I set the ignition timing on my Supra. Now this was done a few years ago, so it might not be the best quality, but you will get the sense of how the timing light will actually work. I'm going to come over here to the camshaft position sensor and then loosen up the bolt so that way I can turn it. Okay, I have it just loose enough so that way I can turn it. We're gonna make that light hit 10, which I hope you can see it on camera. On newer cars, you don't have that option. It's a camshaft position sensor now is this tiny little part that plugs right into your camshaft area. So going forward, modern engines don't use mechanical distributors anymore, like I was talking about. Instead, the engine computer, or the ECU, controls ignition timing electronically. The ECU reads data from sensors like the crankshaft position sensor, the camshaft position sensor, the throttle position sensor, air intake temperature, and your knock sensors. So using this data, the ECU calculates the optimal spark timing hundreds of times per second. If the engine detects knock, the computer can immediately retard the timing to protect the engine. This makes modern engines far more efficient and reliable. So in summary, ignition timing is simply when the spark plugs fire relative to piston position, but that timing constantly changes to make the engine run efficiently. Spark happens before top dead center because combustion takes time, and as engine speed increases, the spark must fire earlier and earlier, so the pressure peak occurs at the perfect moment during the power stroke. That tiny spark happening just milliseconds early is what makes your engine work. All right, guys, there you go. That's how ignition timing works. I tried breaking it down as simple as possible so you can understand it. If you did, awesome, glad to hear it. If you want to support the channel, you can go ahead and click the link in the description below. It will take you to my shop where you can get some merch. You can pick up one of these hats. I have a few different t-shirts. Let me know what are the videos that you want to know about engines and cars and everything in between. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next ride.